Let's welcome in Kyle Porter, who is there in Tulsa at the PGA Championship. Kyle, I was just looking at the weather, gusting up to 36 miles per hour. So that's a lot different than it was yesterday. It's also a little cooler. Let's talk about Tiger Woods. At this point, I'm worried we're not going to see him on the weekend.
Yeah, I am too. I think everybody here is. You just showed that soundbite of him after Thursday's round when he shot 74. What you might not have seen on camera is as he walked away from the microphone on Thursday, he was really laboring. He was really limping. And, I think the disconcerting part for me as I kind of viewed him at Augusta National earlier this year and now this week is he got incrementally worse as the week wore on at Augusta National, right? You saw the limp kind of get worse and worse on each passing day. What he experienced on Thursday seemed to be more sudden, and it seemed to be more unexpected from Tiger. He seemed to be surprised by how much he was hurting and kind of the manner in which he was hurting. So that's certainly something to keep an eye on Thursday. As you can probably see from how my hair's blowing and how the trees are blowing behind me, it is really gusty out here. It's going to take, unless it lays down this afternoon, which it might, it's going to take a pretty special round from Tiger, given kind of where he's at right now, to make it to the weekend and play on Saturday and Sunday here at Southern Hills.
Your hair looks good, but the wind on average about 22 miles per hour. Let's talk about Rory. Look, he was at the top of the leaderboard heading into today. And I know I was listening to the First Cut podcast. We somewhat have to credit you for Rory doing so well because back at Augusta, you challenged him about not playing conservatively. And sure enough, that's what he did. He was a little bit aggressive yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know how widespread I want that statement to be about me taking credit for Rory's round on Thursday. But listen, he said this after his round. He goes out and plays the front nine, the back nine on the course, but his front nine on the day. Really well, made 4 birdies in a row, and he's kind of starting to feel it a little bit. And he kind of talked about how it's very easy to get conservative after you do that, to play the front nine, his back nine on the day, in kind of a prevent defense mode, protect your lead, see what happens over the next 3 days. But he kept going after it. He kept pulling driver and just wailing away at it. And I thought that was a little bit of a shift in his mentality from maybe recent starts to major championships where he tried to be conservative, just keep himself in it. He went for it yesterday, and his reward, which won't always be the case, was a lead on Thursday because he putted really well. And this is where Rory wins major championships, is from out in front. Of his 4 wins, he's either led or been within 1 after the first round in all 4 of them. So I think that aggressiveness on Thursday, there's certainly a reward to be had there. And again, if the wind lays down this afternoon, he's going to have a little bit of an opportunity to put some space between him and the top of this leaderboard, which if you're a Rory fan, that's certainly exciting going into the weekend.
Nearly 8 years since he had the leader co-lead after 18 holes. I mean, looking forward to this weekend, is this sustainable for Rory from what you saw yesterday?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, is he going to gain 3 strokes on the field with his putter every day? No, I don't think so. But the primary thing is he was putting himself in position off the tee. I mean, he averaged 336 off the tee on Thursday, and that includes a couple of 3-woods he hit. So if you just look at driver, he was averaging 345, 350 off the tee, and it just gives him such an advantage when he's hitting that club so well. So I think from tee to green, he's really locked in. We saw it at Augusta. He finished T5 at the Wells Fargo a couple weeks ago. I think he really feels comfortable from tee to green in a way that maybe he hasn't over the last couple years at major championships. So he might fall back a little bit on Friday or Saturday, but I definitely think he is going to be at or near the lead going into Sunday's final round.
Let's talk about putting some money on it, taking a look at the odds right now. Rory is the favorite to go ahead and win the PGA Championship, which would be his 3rd one there. Would you sprinkle a little money on that, Kyle?
I don't love the number. I think, 3-1 is just not a great number for somebody who only has a 1-stroke lead, even though I just got done talking him up for the last 2.5 minutes. But I think I would look a little further down the board at guys like Cam Smith, I think was 11 or 12-1. Scotty Scheffler's really still in this tournament at 20 or 22-1. Cam Smith's really intriguing. He was the best player in the field in terms of approach shots on Thursday. As you see the wind pick up, that's going to be even more important on Friday and potentially going into the weekend. He is flying under the radar. He didn't have a great back nine on the course on Thursday. He was 2 over there, flipped it around, birdied 5 of his first 7 on his back nine, front nine of the course on Thursday to kind of mix it up a little bit. So I like looking a little bit further down that board than Rory at the very top at 3-1.
Oh, so talk to us a little bit then about Cam Smith, and I know you said this on the podcast as well. So he finished 2 under yesterday. I mean, give us his outlook for the day, what you want to see a little bit more of from him.
Well, he didn't. I don't really think he made a ton of putts. He made some putts, but he's I think the best putter in the world right now. So if he gets hot with that, and you know, it's interesting. He kind of did the same thing on Thursday that he did on Thursday at Augusta National. At Thursday at Augusta National, he doubled the first hole, doubled the last hole, and in between he was flawless. And he went on to kind of save that round despite those 2 doubles and play in the final pairing on Sunday at the Masters. I think we could see the same here. He was out of the tournament after 9 holes here on Thursday. Again, made 5 birdies in 7 holes to play his way back into it. He needs to, I think, get really hot with the putter on Friday or Saturday to take a lead, to get maybe tied for the lead going into Sunday to give himself an opportunity to win his first major championship.
Someone playing alongside Cam Smith, Will Zalatoris there, and he had his 4th best putting round of his career, which we don't say a ton about him. But look, I mean, in this atmosphere, for him to try to get his first win there, which would be a major, I mean, it's a tough road ahead, but talk to us about what you saw from him and what we can expect today.
Well, it is. Rick and I were talking about this on the First Cut podcast. When somebody who's not a great putter has a great putting round at a major, you kind of look at it with, like you kind of side-eye that stat, right? But Will Zalatoris is great from tee to green, and he's been great at major championships. I think the thing for me, more than even his short putting, which obviously at times has looked very shaky, that is a little concerning is what you just said. That's trying to get your first win at a major. It's really difficult. Scotty Scheffler was talking about this earlier in the week, where he said, I get my first win at Phoenix, and then I'm in the mix at Bay Hill, and you just feel a little bit more comfortable because you have the confidence that you've done it before, that you can do it. I think Will Zalatoris is a very confident guy, but you don't know yet that you can do it because you haven't done it. And to do that for the first time at a major, to get your first win at a major, it doesn't happen very often, and it's extraordinarily difficult to do, especially when you've got guys like JT and Rory that you're trying to beat. So I think that for him will be more the obstacle or the hurdle potentially than a shaky putter on some of those short putts on the weekend at Southern Hills.
Let's go back to the group with the most eyes on them. We got Rory and Tiger and then Jordan. And I think Rory was doing so well and Tiger was doing so poorly that we sort of overlooked Jordan Spieth there in the middle. But you were a little disappointed in his putter yesterday.
I was disappointed in his putter, mostly because he hit the ball pretty well. I think he actually just walked behind me over here, so he's working on his putting right now over on that practice screen. But he continued to hit the ball well, like he's done since the Masters. He's been hitting the ball great. He's been driving it great, which, as we saw from Rory on Thursday, was really kind of paramount to shooting a good score. He just couldn't get the speed of the greens, and I think what's interesting about what's happening here on Friday is it's been blowing. It's going to be gusty. The green speeds are pretty slow out here for what they potentially could be. They haven't ramped them up at all. And I think that's kind of tricked him a little bit, at least over the first day. So it'll be interesting to see if he can adjust to that on day 2 and maybe put a score together in the 60s and play his way into this tournament.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.